Womack with Refugees, Unknown Stories Untold, where we work to tell the stories of refugees and those in exile and what they've experienced as they've come across the border, both here in Europe as well as in other places in the world. So today our guest is Carlos Pascual Sanchez, and we're very thrilled to have him here. And Carlos, you have a pretty big role within a health facility in Philadelphia. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do and what this clinic there does to help support immigrants in the community?
Yeah, my name is Carlos Pascual Sanchez. I'm working in Puente de Salud Clinic in Philadelphia. My role is I have a communication directly with the Latino community and immigrant community in general. It's people coming from China, Africa, Midwest, coming to looking for medical services. So my role is to connect all these people with the clinic, with the providers, with the specialists. So yeah, I'm doing many things. We have many doctors who are volunteers in the clinic. So I always contact, this doctor, asking what they need to come to help the community. Also connecting with medical students who help doing administrative stuff. So I am the person who is talking, who is training all these volunteers. So sometimes
pretty busy job.
Yeah, it's busy.
Because I know the Philadelphia area, the immigrant community there is fairly big. And I also know we recently just brought in quite a number of Afghani refugees as well. Do you do anything with them?
Not this moment, because also sometimes it's difficult, the language. So mostly, I'm always checking with one of my volunteers if they speak the language. If I have someone who speaks the language, I can call this community. But yeah, but many times it's difficult. But I have contact. I know there is other clinic in South Philly who receive all this community, and they have the interpreters. They have the staff who can help better than me or that.
What is the name of the clinic?
In South Philadelphia, it's the Wise Center. It's kind of new.
And your clinic, what's the name of the clinic that you're the administrator at?
Yeah, the name of the clinic where I'm working is Puente de Salud in Spanish.
Translates to the bridge. Am I right?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that is the idea, to build bridges between the community. Yeah, so yeah,
that's wonderful. That's great. Great name. Prior to this position, you also held another community position. Can you tell us a little bit about what you did with that?
Yeah, working in the community art school. It's called Fleischer Art Memorial. This school is making accessible the art education for the community. So my role there was like connecting the Latino community with the school, talking with Latino artists, helping to bring the community to the school, and many of the immigrant community doesn't have access for, workshop, different classes, different things, because the lack of the language. So that is why I was trying to connect people who have skills, art skills. So I was invited to come to this school to offer classes, so, and to push the organization to open bilingual classes, and was very, very beneficial for all communities, because um, the community who already are from Philly, they can share the language, they can share stories, they can share, connect. Yeah.
I think it's the same thing that you're doing now, building bridges, right?
Yeah, some way, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's wonderful. Okay, well, great. It's nice to, hear a little bit about what you're doing now and how involved you are in the Philadelphia community with immigrants. So now what I'd like to ask you is I'd like you to tell me your own experience. So if you could take me back to the time that you came from Mexico to the United States. I know it's been a while, but if you could give us, what your story, what is the story as to how you got here and now you're involved in the immigrant community in a leadership role?
Um, I came to Philadelphia, escaping from the police brutality in Mexico. Um, was a big decision and was a difficult decision, because just I wanted to myself to keep safe.
Yeah.
So
So
I had,
you weren't safe. Was your family safe? It was just you that was.
my family was safe, just me, just me. I was in the wrong place, in the wrong time, so everything happened to me. Yeah, some ways, like, I don't know why, but this happened to me, so I had to move somewhere else.
Yeah, in order to stay safe. How did your family react with that? Did they want you to leave?
They were sad about the idea about me to leave the house, but there is no many choices. It's
Yeah.
about life. So they say, you gonna be okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
There is
So,
no many choices.
so tell us what that was like. So you experienced this police brutality, and now you have to leave. I mean, for your life,
Yeah.
you've got to.
Sadly, in that time, the there is many corruption in the police in Mexico at that time, many corruption. So I'm telling you, I was in the wrong place, the wrong time. So in a night, everything changed for me. I was doing my work there. I was like working well. I was like having a good life in some way, like being in peace over there when I live in Mexico. But one night, everything changed.
How old were you? How old were you?
I was 76. Yeah, I was 76, and that time one night the police took me just for they were looking for someone. They
At
took me.
26 years old.
Yeah, yeah. They took me and they say, oh, you are that person. So I don't know what happened before. I don't know, but they beat me very, very bad. I was like bleeding. And they left me because they thought I was dead at that moment. So, but anyway, they sent me to they have a body. They thought they have a body. They need to do something with that body. So they put me in an ambulance to clean my face, to clean my body, to pretend was not violent.
Right.
So, but I was conscious. Just I was pretending I was unconscious. So that was the only way that I escaped that night.
Yeah. Was to pretend that you were dead.
Yeah, yeah. yeah, so, but anyway, they put me in an ambulance. This staff, they clean my face, they clean my body to present to me someone else. So they put me in, basically they sent me to a jail,
Mhm.
in a jail. I didn't know why, I didn't know how, I didn't know anything. Just, and the next day I was in jail. I don't know why. So so um in that time I was practicing a lot of soccer. I was playing okay. So
Uh-huh.
one of the owners of that soccer team was a lawyer. So when the owner knows I was in jail for something, he he offered to help me. So okay, so um and and he put me out of the jail. But the police, because they need a case, they need to build something
Right.
to say, uh,
Yeah,
to have
why
a
they were
story
holding
about
you.
it, to have about the story about me. I don't know what the story. So they want something. So they continue looking for me in the street. They continue to catch me, and I didn't know why. I didn't know why. So and then then I was receiving calls. I was receiving a message from, we were looking for you. We wanna catch you. We want to kill you, basically. So I was like, I was scared, but I was like, oh, okay. I gonna, I don't know. I was like, okay, but but obviously all this situation was affecting my family, my mom. So when I saw my family broken in parts, that I realized I have to live. I have to live. So yeah, I have no choice. I say my mom, I have to go somewhere. So
That had to have been so hard, so difficult for you and for your family as well. So
yeah,
when you then said, okay, I've got to leave, I've got no choice if I want to live, and if I want my family to stay safe, I have to leave. So you sacrificed, yourself in a way, and you went with a friend. Is that right? To cross the border?
yeah. In that moment, one of my friends who was in Philadelphia before, he went to visit his family in Mexico. But in that moment, he decided to come back to Philly. So he just asked me, "You wanna come?"
Mhm.
So for me, I didn't know where is Philly, where is Pennsylvania. I didn't have idea.
You just knew you were getting out of Mexico.
Yeah. So yeah, I
So I'm guessing, did you come into Texas?
know by I crossed in the Tecate by Mexico, crossing to near to San Bernardino. I don't remember.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. So you came into the United States and then you made your way with your friend, I'm guessing, to Philadelphia. And what was your impression as a 26-year-old? Did you have any English language, or was this all new culture-wise and language-wise for you?
Wow, was a shock. Was a shock because my English in that time was very limited, because that was only the English that I learned in the school.
Yeah.
So was very basic. Just my name is. That's
Uh-huh.
it. That's it. So yeah, it was very limited, and I was in shock, um, because I was in shock. You know, seeing totally different communities, totally different city, language, and also I didn't sleep well in the border, or in my way here because I was nervous, I was alert,
Yeah.
and in the first day, I was like 30 minutes in the house where I arrived in that time. So somebody called, we have work. We need someone to work. So I was like 30 minutes.
Wow. So right
So
when you got here.
yeah, so just they asked me, you wanna go?
And what did you do? What was your job?
That was a bakery. That was a bakery.
A bakery. Okay.
So
Maybe you're a good cook. You're a good baker.
no, not really, because was very, very difficult because all the workers in that bakery, they speak English. So I was like, what I'm doing here?
Right.
I cannot understand what they're saying. I wanted to help, but I didn't understand what they're asking me. It was very, very difficult. Just I was like looking around what they were doing and doing myself.
Observing.
Yeah,
Right.
observing.
By observing. So you came, you were in this, shock when you came here to Philadelphia, and now look at what you're doing. You're a leader in the community, you're leading, you're doing networking with the medical community and with new immigrants. So you've really done a lot in your time that you have been here. That's very impressive, very impressive. So let me ask you about you've had your experience and you're working with immigrants, new immigrants that are coming in now. Do you see similarities to when you came across as a 26-year-old to the way that immigrants are coming into Philadelphia now? Do you think there's more support for them? Is there anything that you still see that you could say, we need this in Philadelphia in order to help support the immigrant community that you didn't have?
Yeah, I think it's different now. In that time when I arrived here was difficult because the Latino community in Philadelphia in this area was very, very small. You see just one person one of the day, one Latino, and was like, you are listening the English the whole day. So when you see one Latino in that moment, you was like, wow, I can like share my,
Right,
speak
right. I can communicate.
Yeah.
Now, how long ago was that? Can you give me just kind of a rough time estimate? How many years ago?
That is 18 years ago.
18 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. And now the immigrant, the Latino community is bigger in Philadelphia. So now we have services for the Latino community. We have communication with other communities. In that time was difficult. Was like in that time, Philadelphia was getting empty. A lot of people who lives in Philadelphia was leaving the city, moving out from the city. So I start seeing more immigrant community arriving to Philadelphia, and this create a new communities like who need to to communicate, who need to work together to build again the community. So I think now Philadelphia is very, very diverse, and the community can be together in the same place, like live together, like in good way.
And
So,
you're helping to do that through your different work that you've done in the community. If you were to say, this is the next thing I think we should do as community developers, what would that be? What do you want to do still that you haven't done, maybe?
Um, uh, I think I did many things, but
That's a hard
I
question.
feel like we need more places to share with the communities. This is a very diverse city, so we need places to be all together, like sharing culture, sharing stories about their countries, their places. So I think that kind of the places. So when we share the ideas, we can understand about us, about all together, like the connection that we can have. Talking with different people in different communities, talking with them is like, oh, that happened to me in my community. That is happening. My mom say that. My grandmother say that too. So we have many things in common.
Find people can find the similarities
Yeah.
rather than looking at differences. I
Mhm.
think that's great. Well, I sure hope that that you're able to do that. And based on what it is that you've done already, I'm sure that you will be even more involved in the community in the years to come. So, you know, Carlos, it was really, like I said, it was our privilege to have you come on the show here and talk, and for us to hear your story. So I want to thank you very much for that, and tell you to continue the work that you're doing in Philadelphia.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.